Hey everyone, we've got a new Player of the Week pack on eFootball. As always, I'll put timestamps in the description, so if there's a particular player you want to hear about, to click the description and there'll be a link to take you straight to them. So let's look at who we've got, starting with one of the two four-stars we've got this week, Maitland-Niles. So Maitland-Niles, attacking fullback, normally a box-to-box. So they've changed his play style, but they've not changed his positions. He's always been versatile. On the ball, they made him a bit worse than his GP card, but apart from that, he's had a pretty nice boost across the board. In terms of his skills, they've added weighted pass, and they've also added man marking and interception. So defensively now, man marking, trap back and interception. Some good skills for a fullback. Weighted pass is a nice one, but there's no pinpoint crossing. A few skill moves there if you like your dribbling and your skill moves, but yeah. He's got the booster as well. We'll hit the booster so we see what he's like on A form. Honestly, he's got quite a few qualities here, but it's a defensive column that concerns me. He's weak defensively. He does have pretty good pace. The physical and balance are okay. Could be better. Stamina's decent when he's got the boost. Down the left, decent enough for a fullback. He's pretty much where he needs to be for a fullback. But like I say, down the middle, defensive awareness 70 is poor, tackling 72 is poor, engagement 74. I mean, they're all a bit on the low side, and that's with the booster as well. So yeah, ultimately, he's kind of all right. You know, he's got some decent skills for a fullback, but he's not got a great deal going forward without pinpoint crossing. Defensively, he is a bit weak. So yeah, it is a 4-star card. Can't ask too much of him, but I think ultimately, yes, he has some qualities. If you're new to the game, if you're desperate for a fullback option, you don't have any fullbacks in form this week. He is versatile. I wouldn't play him any of those midfield positions because I don't think he's technically good enough. And if you play him as an out-and-out defensive midfielder with less emphasis on his technical ability, then the emphasis moves on to his defensive ability, which is clearly not high enough. So I think he's very much a fullback who's going to get up and down. He's got good pace. He's just a little bit suspect with his defensive attributes. So there are enough qualities there that he could do a job if you really need a fullback. But ultimately, for me, it's very much a 4-star card, and it's just not a particularly exciting one for me. And then we have André Ramalho. So we've had a Player of the Week version of him in a Champions League pack a few months back now. Quite similar. This one's got a couple of extra skills. I'll go straight to the skills. We'll start there. So compared to his base card, they've added one-touch pass and interception, which is a crucial one for a centre-back. Compared to that Player of the Week one, if you got that, this one also has blocker and aerial superiority. So if you got that Player of the Week version, this is an upgrade. We'll look at the attributes in a second, but in terms of the skills here, heading, aerial superiority, those are important on a guy who's only 5'11". Sliding tackle, athletic clearance, blocker, interception, man marking. He's got pretty much all the defensive skills you want for a centre back. One touch pass and low lofted pass. Nice ones to have for a centre back, especially when he's got 77 low pass. So he's got very nice passing for a centre back. And on the ball as well, when you get the game plan boost, ball control will hit at 70. So technically, he's pretty tidy and you build up as well. This is a 4-star card though, and so like I say, like with Maitland-Niles, you can't expect too much. Awareness is great on a 4-star card for centre back, but this is where we find out why he's a 4-star. The tackling only 83, aggression only 76, and then engagement only 83 as well. So he's a little bit lacking with some of his defensive attributes, although the awareness is very good. Average pace for a centre back. Jumpy and physical are fairly decent. Again, he needs that because he's only 5'11", but yeah, and good stamina for a centre back. I think on the whole, for a 4-star card, he's pretty decent. He's one of these centre backs who's kind of a cultured centre back. He's technically fairly decent for a player in that position. He does have some quality with the attributes, but of course there's the drawback of some of those defensive attributes being a little bit on the low side, and that is obviously very important for a centre back. But he does have a very good skill set. He does have some very nice passing for a centre back. And I think on the whole, for a 4-star card, he's not bad at all. So yeah, if you need centre-back options, he could be a decent one to pick up, but a bit lacking in height. Some of those defence attributes are a bit on the low side. He's clearly not on the level of a lot of the top centre-backs that I think most people who've been playing the game for a while have got. So he's not going to be a great option for many people, but certainly if you do need a centre-back, if you like a build-up centre-back who's good in the ball, especially for a 4-star card, I think he's pretty reasonable. Felipe Anderson from Lazio. So this is a decent version of Felipe Anderson, actually. I got one from, I think it was an Italian League pack or something quite a while ago. I've used him a few times in the Italian League Challenge, and he's pretty nice. He feels pretty decent on the ball. They've made him a whole player. He's normally a roaming flank. They've reduced some of his attributes slightly. Dribbling is slightly down. Most of the right column is slightly down, but they've given him a fairly decent boost on his passing and his finishing. Very nice boost, actually. So in terms of end product, big upgrade. In terms of his skills, chip shot control and first time shot have been added. He could do with a bit more for end products. No one-touch pass or through passing, pinpoint crossing. Bit of a shame that, but it's got long range curler and first time shot. So I think wide on the left, those are very good skills to have. SS as well. He's got a bunch of skill moves. I think dribblers all quite like this guy. Quite nice on the ball. As you can see, he's good on the ball, good attacking awareness. That goes well with this whole player playing style that he's got on this card. That will be active, that play style. Left midfield, attack midfield, SS. Not a centre forward or as a wide forward, left or right. I don't think I'll play him centre forward. I don't think his awareness is good enough. His finishing probably isn't quite good enough either, but you could play him wide left. I don't think wide right. He's not got good enough lofted pass. He's not got pinpoint crossing. Not got outside curler either. So I think with this guy, you're going to play him SS or wide left. You could play him attacking midfield as well, to be fair, but I think without one-touch passing, through passing, with low pass 82, I don't think he's quite equipped to play attacking midfield, even though the whole player playing style will be active there. I think SS or wide left is where he's going to be best. Decent pace, like I say, good on the ball, good awareness. He's got, compared to other versions of him, it's pretty decent end product. I think with 83 finishing, first time shot, long range curler, either as an SS or playing wide left, could be very effective cutting inside, getting into shooting positions, getting goals for you. And like I say, I've got a version of this guy, and based on that and the fact that this one's got more end product and a playing style that I prefer to the one that I've got, he looks like a pretty tidy card. It could be a nice one to pick up. So yeah, not bad, this one. Now Anthony Gordon. So I'm always biased as a Newcastle fan, but to be honest, there's nothing that exciting about this version of Gordon. They have again reduced a bunch of his attributes: attacking awareness, on the ball, acceleration, balance. Slight decrease to a whole bunch of his attributes, but similar to Felipe Anderson, his passing and his finishing have both been boosted a fair amount. So yeah, some ups and some downs. Skill wise, they've given him a track back. That's it. Apart from that, it's the usual skill set. Some good skills in terms of end product, and they have boosted his passing and finishing. So if you want a Gordon that's got a bit more end product than normal, then it could be a decent version for you. But like I say, a whole bunch of his attributes are slightly down from his GP card. I would say overall, if you got the nominating contract version of him, if you train that with auto allocation of the training points, it's kind of different, a bit better in some areas, a bit worse in others, but you can kind of reallocate the points on that card to make it pretty similar to this one, to be honest. So I don't think if you got that version that you really need to get this one. But if you don't have a good version of Gordon, good pace, fairly decent on the ball, bit of end product, it's not a bad card. It's not an amazing one. I think for dribblers, it's not the best. You know, if you're a real dribbler, you got a lot of wingers in your squad, you know, attacking players playing these types of position. You probably got players who are better on the ball, but he's decent. He's a decent one to pick up. He's effective. You know, you notice his pace. He does feel quite nice on the ball, even if his dribbling is not amazing. And yeah, like I say, the end product's a bit better than it normally is. So yeah, ultimately it's a decent card. It's not an amazing one, and I feel like they could have done a little bit more with him compared to, you know, the way he normally is in the previous versions of him, because he's kind of just much of the same really, but a bit more end product on him. So yeah, decent card. We have our goalkeeper, Emi Martínez. It's a decent version of Martínez. The big change from most versions of him is parrying's gone up quite a lot. Big boost there. The rest of his goalie attributes are pretty solid across the board. Great reach on a big tall guy. He's about, what is he, 6'5" or something. But for a 5-star goalie, 85 awareness, 84 reflexes, that's really not that great. I think most 5-star keepers are better in both areas. Ultimately, I've got quite a few goalkeepers, and I've got a lot of goalkeepers who are better than this, so it's not one I'm going to be too keen to get. But again, it's one where if you're lacking options, lacking goalkeeper options, he could be worth picking up, because he's certainly not bad. He's just not as good as a lot of 5-star keepers, in my opinion. And of course, for a player of the week goalkeeper, you can't jump, because that's Konami logic. But yeah, if you need a goalkeeper option, or if you're a Villa fan, could be a solid option to pick up. But for a 5-star keeper, I don't think he's anything special. Now we've got Trincão from Sporting. So again, a whole bunch of his attributes slightly decreased from his GP card. Kicking power, balance, stamina, ball control and tight possession slightly down. So a bit strange, but again, like with Gordon and with Felipe Anderson, his passing and shooting have had a nice boost. So yeah, some ups and some downs. Ultimately, it's going to be very nice on the ball, pretty good attacking awareness. Don't ask too much from his end product. It's not brilliant, but like I say, it's a bit of a boost from his base card. Decent pace. Not the best balance, bit frustrating that. And he's about 6 foot as well, so I'm not sure how smooth he's going to feel on the ball. It'll be interesting to find out. But yeah, certainly the technical, the attributes on the ball look good, but 6 foot, not great balance. Something to keep in mind that. If we look at the skills, they've given him pinpoint crossing and track back. He's already a super sub. He's already got some nice skills actually. Long range curler, rising shot, long range shooting, first time shot. So he's got some good shooting skills. Heel trick's a nice one, through passing. Yeah, he's got some qualities, this guy. He basically wants to play just off the attack, either through the middle as an SS or wide right or left. He's a left footer. Pinpoint crossing, if you put him on the left, you'll have a reasonable cross on him. He should hit 80 in the game plan with a decent enough manager to get you a game plan boost with pinpoint crossing. So his crossing should be okay, but not brilliant. Likewise with the passing, low pass 77, and he has through passing. He's not going to have brilliant through passing just because he's got that skill, but it will be slightly better. So again, don't ask too much from him, but could have a through pass on him. And with finishing, and likewise, decent game plan boost, gets him up to 80 for finishing. He's got some good shooting skills. So on the right, cutting inside, long range curler, or on the left, putting half decent crosses in. He's got a bit of end product. He's going to be pretty tidy on the ball. It's not an amazing card, but could be a pretty solid one. I think sporting fans certainly be pretty pleased with him, because I think this is by far the best version we've had of Trincão so far. And now our next booster, Cole Palmer, who had a brilliant game against Everton. To be honest, it's not that much better than previous versions of Cole Palmer. We've had a couple of Player of the Week versions. I think there's one in one of those legend boxes. He's decent on the ball, decent passing, finishing. He's had a very nice boost to his finishing. Attacking awareness likewise has been boosted a bit, and low pass, acceleration's up a bit. Some of his attributes are slightly down from his base card. Balance, on the ball I think he's down a bit from his base card. Kicking power as well. Yeah, I think maybe his weaker foot's been made stronger actually as well. That's an interesting change. I always forget to mention that. He's a whole player, so they've made him a whole player, normally a creative playmaker. Positions are the same as normal. He looks like he's going to be kind of decent on the ball, decent pace, but with some pretty good end product. He's not, I don't think he's really a dribbler, without more balance being, he's 6'2", 6'3", quite tall. Bit like with Trincão, he might be good on the ball technically, but with his physique and low balance not being high, he's not going to feel too brilliant on the ball, I don't think. I got a previous Player of the Week version. It was the one we got for free actually. He doesn't feel too great on the ball, so yeah, I'm not sure how great this one's going to feel on the ball, but certainly looks like he's technically sound. He's got a bit of end product there. If we look at his skills, and we'll do the booster in a second, they have given him first time shot, one touch pass and through passing, so it's 3 big additions to his skills. Very, very good skills to have added. Already got long range curler, long range shooting, soul control, which is nice. But yeah, we've got some end product, passing and shooting, as you'd expect based on his performance. If we activate that booster, it is, Striker's Instinct. So attacking awareness goes up even higher, finishing likewise. Those two have already been boosted, so if he gets A form, big boost compared to his base card. Ball control goes up a bit, which is nice. Acceleration goes up in higher. Yeah, it's a good version of Cole Palmer. It's not an amazing one. Nothing massively stands out here, but he is technically sound. He does have end product. The awareness and finishing, especially with his shooting skills, he's going to have a good shot on him. With the whole player playing style and his attacking awareness in the 80s as well, he's going to take up good positions if you play him attacking mid or right mid. So when he gets into good positions, he's got a shot on him, and he can pass, not just with the low pass being boosted up to 83, but with one touch pass and through passing added to his skills. I think this is a good version of Cole Palmer. I don't look at this and think it's an amazing card that I really, really want to get, but I think it's a very good version of him. And like I say, he can play all these positions except I think centre midfield. He can't defend, but wide right and attacking mid, especially if you're playing right midfield with the whole player playing style active, I think it can be very productive. It can be a very good card to pick up, especially with A form. So yeah, not one I'm overly excited about, but I think it is a very good card. Then we have Kimmich. So we've had a right back version of Kimmich before. Now we've got another one. So play style first, attacking fullback, normally an orchestrator. If you get his base card and train it as a right back, this is a significantly better card. But I don't know why you'd want to play him at right back, because his speed at 72 is way too low. So I think realistically you've got to look at this guy and as a defensive midfielder or a centre midfielder, which is what he normally is. I think his centre midfield with the attacking awareness being a bit low, I'm not sure how well suited he'd be to that position, but certainly outside of attacking awareness, he's got some great attributes everywhere else. Defensive midfielder, I think personally, with the way they boosted certain attributes, physical contact and some of these defensive attributes, I would make use of those by putting in defensive midfielder. I think he'd be very effective there. That's where I think this card is going to be best. Still technically very sound, as you would expect, on the ball and with his passing, but with your game plan boost, you're going to be 80 plus with all of these. On the right, obviously, like I say, it's a bit slow, but as a defensive midfielder, not so important. Acceleration is decent though. Physical contact, you'll get 80 with the game plan boost, which is great. Balance, stamina's fantastic. Yeah, like I say, right back, absolutely not. He's not quick enough. Defensive midfielder, yes, I think you're in business. If we have a look at his skills, they have not changed anything. So, yeah, to be fair, they don't really need to. It would have been nice to give him something like maybe man marking or block or something like that. But he's got interception, he's got slide and tackle. And then going forward, one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, pinpoint crossing. So, yeah, putting him with defensive midfield, brilliant on the ball, really nice passing, interception, sliding tackle, and with his defensive attributes boosted a bit in physical contact. If you look at this guy as a defensive midfielder, in my opinion, it's a very good card. We've had a lot of versions of Kimmich. There might be some better ones, but if you don't have a good version of him, I think if you get this card, keep him well away from right back. But defensive midfield, I think you're going to have a very, very good card in your hands. Now, João Félix from Barcelona. So, normally a creative playmaker, SS. They've not changed the positions he can play, but his registered position has changed to a left winger, wide left forward, whatever you want to call it. And they've made him a roaming flank instead of a creative playmaker. Again, we've got some ups and some downs on the ball, and they made him a bit worse than his GP card. Awareness is down a bit, I think, as well. Balance likewise. But apart from that, he's had a bit of a boost across the board. Looking at his skills, they've given him acrobatic finishing and first time shot. They've removed sombrero and cut behind and turn. I think that's a decent trade-off. Acrobatic finishing and first time shot gives him a bit more end product. He's already got one touch pass and through passing, outside curler and heel trick and nice ones. Soul control likewise, so he's going to be good in the ball. I've got a Champions League Player of the Week version of him, and like I say, he is good in the ball. I really like it actually. When we get the Spanish League Challenge, he's always going to be in my squad if he's got form. Yeah, it's a good card. I think he's very much as you would expect him to be based on what he's like in real life. He's good in the ball. He's got a bit of end product. It'd be nice if he had better passing, to be honest. I think he deserves better passing, but finishing's decent, and he's got first time shot, as I mentioned. So yeah, when he gets into good positions to get a shot away, he's going to be able to get goals for you. He is going to feel nice in the ball. With the game plan boost, you're going to see attacking awareness and low pass both go past 80. Bit of pace about him, bit of balance, even though they've reduced it slightly for no apparent reason. Yeah, I don't think it's the best version of Felix we've had. We've had a whole bunch, but if you don't have a good version of Felix, I think this is going to be a pretty nice card to have. I like the roaming front play style for a winger. He will take out good positions. He is nice on the ball. He's got a bit of end product, more with his shooting than his passing, to be honest. But yeah, it's a nice card. I think it's going to be a very effective one. If you don't have a good version of him, I think it'd be well worth getting. If you do have a good version of him, there might not be much point getting him, because he's not that. I don't think he's the best version we've had of Felix. And like I say, with the way they've reduced certain attributes, it's not one that I'll be desperate to get if I've got a good version of him already. But if you don't have a good version, good card. Then we have Tchouaméni. So it's the first destroyer version of Tchouaméni. Most previous versions have been box to box. We've had a bunch of Player of the Week versions that were box to box. They changed his GP card to a Anchorman not long ago, but now we've got a destroyer version. Quite similar to previous versions of him, a bit different in certain areas. So they've significantly reduced his aggression and his tight possession, which is a bit strange. Slightly reduced his tackling and defensive engagement as well, but outside of that, he's had a bit of a boost across the board. Overall, he is better than his GP card, as you'd expect, and most significant boost is finishing, because he's scored a bit of a belter. And if we look at his skills, this is where it really gets interesting, because they have removed through passing, which is a big loss. They've also removed Marseille turn, cut behind and turn, weighted pass, and gamesmanship, but they've added heading, dipping shot, rising shot, long range shooting, and fighting spirit. So big changes in his skill set. Like I say, removing through passing really sucks. That's a real shame they've taken that away. And they've obviously gone all in on his shooting after his goal he scored. Long range shooting, rising shot, and dipping shot. I'm not sure those are the skills you really want on a destroyer, to be honest, but he's got them. But yeah, looking at it in isolation, through passing a big miss now, but one touch pass, interception, error, superiority, and heading, sliding tackle, fighting spirit. As a defensive midfielder destroyer, pretty good skill set, to be honest. Soul control as well is a nice one. He can play centre back according to his position chart there, but clearly his defensive attributes aren't high enough for that. I would not be playing him as a centre back unless you're desperate, in which case he could get away with it, but not for me. But yeah, attacking as a centre midfielder without through passing, with the attacking awareness being a bit lower, tight possession being as low as it is, wouldn't play him centre mid. But as a defensive midfielder, defensively he's pretty strong. On the ball, he's tidy enough as a defensive mid. Passing for a defensive mid is excellent. Physical and aerial, pretty good for a defensive mid. The pace is pretty average. Stamina's good. Yeah, as a defensive midfielder, good card. It's I think it probably comes down to the playing style and the skills more than anything, because I have messed around with the skills quite a bit. And like I say, taking through passing away is a bit of a shame, but adding heading and fighting spirit as a defensive midfielder is good, even though the shooting ones probably aren't too useful. Yeah, if you want to destroy, if you want a defensive midfielder version of Tchouaméni who's a bit more mobile than an anchorman, because an anchorman will just sit in front of the defense and just protect them. A destroyer will be quicker to step forward and it'll be a bit more mobile, bit more aggressive, even though they've reduced his aggression. Could be a good version for you. Defensive midfielder, yeah, like I say, that's the position you want to play him. The attributes are strong. A bit weird they've reduced the aggression and the tight possession. The skills are a bit of a strange one as well in some areas, but ultimately as a destroyer, it's an interesting version of Tchouaméni. It's a good version. Maybe not the best version we've had, but it's just one of those ones where it's a bit different to normal. I think, to be honest, in Player of the Week, you don't always need it to be a version that's way better than he normally is or anything like that. As long as he's a bit different, there's something about him that just kind of makes him a different option to other versions of the card. I think with this guy as a destroyer, different skills, yeah, it's an interesting version of Tchouaméni. I think it's a decent card on the whole. And then we finish up with Doku. So again, we've got some ups and some downs. So with Doku, we've got a slight decrease on attacking awareness, dribbling, balance, acceleration, kicking power. Why are you doing this, Konami? This is like the highest rated card in the worldwide team of the week, and you've made him worse in a bunch of crucial areas. What on earth are you doing that for? His passing and shooting are up though. So again, like with a bunch of cards in this pack, a load of little decreases here and there, which seem to defy logic, but passing and finishing have gone up. To be honest, if you get his GP card on auto allocation, it's a bit different, you know, higher in some areas, lower in others. But if you retrain the GP card and try to kind of reallocate training points to make him as similar to this as possible, it's not far off. It's pretty similar. So what it's going to come down to is probably play style, because his positions are the same, but he's now a whole player instead of a prolific winger. I don't think there's a huge difference with that, but a lot of people will like whole player as a left mid or right mid. Won't be active as a wide forward, left or right though. On his base card, prolific winger, that will be an active play style in all four positions. Looking at the skills, long range curler, so what they've added, that's it. Apart from that, a whole bunch of skill moves. If you like your dribblers, on the ball, this guy's going to be brilliant. You know, he's got a pretty low center of gravity, great pace, good balance, good on the ball. It's going to be really fun to dribble with, but even though they boosted the passing and finishing, you've got to be careful with those. Don't ask too much. It would have been nice if they've added some more skills around, you know, like through passing, one touch pass, stuff like that. But we do at least have long range curler. I think certainly playing wide left, cutting inside into his right foot is how he's going to be the most effective. And he does have a booster as well. So the booster gives us a bit more dribbling and tight possession, speed and balance. So yeah, on the whole, like I say, with the GP card, you can make it similar, but when you hit the boost on A form, even without the boost, to be fair, it's a bit better on the whole than GP card. But certainly with the boost active, very nice. He's going to be even better on the ball with the speed, the dribbling, the balance. Yeah, as I say, just be careful with his end product. He's not got brilliant passing. His finishing, he does have long range curler, but that's it. And the finishing only 75, so don't ask too much from with his finishing. But he's going to feel really, really nice on the ball. Whole player playing style will be active left midfield or right midfield. Will be making very good attacking runs. Would have been nice if they given him slightly more attacking awareness, to be honest, just so you could hit 80 with the game plan boost on attacking awareness with the whole player playing style. But it's not too bad. So yeah. He's just a player who it's clear what he's going to be best at. Just get him on the ball and run up defenders. Can be a really fun one. The dribblers, I think, would really like this guy. So, yeah, bit frustrating what they've done with certain attributes, but on the whole, for what he's good at, great dribbler. Could be a really fun card to pick up. So, on the whole, I think, to be honest, I think the word I'd use for this pack is uninteresting. It's not a bad pack. I think Maitland-Niles is a fairly... Yeah, I don't think he's a particularly great card, but all the rest of these cards, I think, to be honest, are all right. They're decent. There aren't many cards here that I think if I got them, I'd release them straight away. I think most of them go in my squad and get a bit of game time. I'll try them out, give them a fair chance. I think there's some decent cards in there. I just don't think there's much in there that's particularly interesting. I think there's an interesting version of Tchouaméni, but outside of that, it's just a kind of decent version of a lot of players, to be honest. So not a bad selection, just not a particularly exciting one. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you found that interesting. Thank you for watching as always. I'll see you soon.